Max Crosby, the spine of the defense. Geno Smith, the voice of the huddle. A.J. Cole, the metronome on special teams. 3 different energies, 1 through line. Those weren't ceremonial votes. They were a locker room naming its standard bearer. Captains aren't stitched on patches, they're human compasses. On Sundays they handle coin tosses and penalty choices. Sure, but the real job starts between whistles, to carry the room from meeting to meeting, to set the thermostat when tension rises, to be the last word players hear before a and the first face they see after a mistake. Nearly unanimous, Pete Carroll said, and you could hear the subtext. This group knows who it is following. The tone is set. Carroll, for his part, wore the look of a coach who enjoys the work more than the microphone, a rumpled hoodie, an old-school grin, and the kind of energy that slips out when a roster finally begins to look like the football living in your head. He talked about the build, how fun it's been, how aligned the ownership is, how deeply this group reflects what he wants: physical, competitive, tough-minded ball. And then he let a line hang in the air just long enough for Raider Nation to catch it. It's going to be satisfying going up against the AFC West coaches. Satisfying, not challenging. Satisfying, not daunting. You don't say a word like that unless you like your chances in a fistfight. This isn't a coach preparing for handshakes with Andy Reid and Sean Payton. It's a coach packing a lunch and circling dates. Now take a layer off the top and look at the moves. Waiver claims and bottom of a roster jostling don't trend on a ticker, but they tell the truth about how a team intends to win. Tristan McCollum's arrival is exactly that kind of truth. 6'3", rangy, and, most importantly, experienced under playoff lights. 14 games last season with Philadelphia. 2 starts, big stage tempo in his legs. He isn't a billboard, but he is ballast. A back-end room this young needs. Someone who's felt January speed, heard a stadium get loud enough to swallow a check. Waving Thomas Harper to make room wasn't cruelty. It was clarity. Depth isn't a slogan, it's a living organism. And McCollum's snaps count, so does the ruthlessness on the offensive line. There was a time when Thayer Munford felt like a developmental bet worth riding out. That time ended this preseason. Missed assignments. Soft anchor. Too many snaps where the feet and the eyes told different stories. New staffs make new bets. 7th-rounders from old regimes don't get long leashes if the tape doesn't flash. Enter Stone Forsyth, a mountain at 6'8" with swing utility and the right edge to match Carroll's temperament. Nobody is chiseling his name into a Pro Bowl slab tomorrow, but he upgrades the floor. And if you've ever watched a good September turn into a bad October because a swing tackle couldn't survive a Sunday, you know exactly why a move like this matters. On defense, keep your eye on Brennan Jackson. Motor like a power tool. Edge integrity that makes coordinators exhale. It's not just that he fits the scheme, it's that he fits the mood. Carroll has been unambiguous about this. He wants grinders, not tourists. Jackson plays like someone who hates the idea of a loaf showing up on film, and that's contagious. Then there's the name that pulls shadows with the Tomari Cooper. Not a splash for the sake of splash, but craftsmanship at the top of the root tree, strong hands, and playoff comp he teaches without a whiteboard. Watch a young receiver. Watch Cooper. Split width, stem tempo. How to hold a corner in your pocket with your eyes before snapping out of a break. These are masterclass reps in motion. On 3rd and 7, his gravity buys windows for everyone else. On a sideline, he is a living curriculum. The secondary, the roster's tender spot, got the most honest treatment of the day. Youngest room on the team. Fast, athletic, moldable. That's coach speak for both promise and peril. Rookies don't learn the league until the league hits back. Expect rotations in September. Expect an open audition that doesn't end with a depth chart graphic, but with snaps earned 1 series at a time. When Carroll says a lot of guys are going to play, it's a polite way of telling you the coaches want the truth under live fire. He pointed to Jeremy Chin as the stabilizer, and praised Isaiah's voice on the back-end communication as a weapon, which it always is. Eric Stokes looks like he's taken ownership of his corner spot. The seat opposite him is hot. That isn't a problem. It's pressure. And pressure is where clarity happens. Health-wise, the timing is kind. A few nicks, nothing a bonus week. Couldn't manage. Carroll called it exactly that: health and sharpening. It's not insignificant. September football, all across the league, is a little sloppy. Health and stability are worth points before the leaves turn. Which brings us to the quarterback room and the man who just walked into it with the right kind of edge. Kenny Pickett arrived like a pro who's done this before. Physical, meetings, practice, zero preamble. He didn't posture, didn't pretend, didn't stir. He acknowledged what everyone knows: this is Geno Smith's team. And then set about the work of becoming the kind of QB that wins a game in December and disappears back into the sideline communication loop like nothing happened. There's a quiet advantage here. Chip Kelly's offense carries more than a passing resemblance to what Pickett ran at Pitt under Mark Whipple. Concepts feel like home. Vocabulary needs time. That saves weeks of mapping, and Pickett's already dialing Whipple for the connective tissue. Chemistry helps too. He and Geno train together all offseason, same weight room, same field sessions, live routes together multiple times a week. Respect isn't ceremonial in quarterback rooms. It's observed in how early you arrive, how often you listen, and how you handle the moment when the rep is yours. Pickett has chosen the right posture. Learn, prepare, be ready. Actions are truer than answers. During the off week, Pickett stayed in town to throw with Amari Cooper reps that don't cash a check today but pay interest all season. He raved about Brock Bowers after 2 days, how quickly the rookie tight end finds separation, how advanced his coverage feel already is. Small notes, big tells, a backup quarterback who's studying tendencies and syncing timing before a game plan ever hits his tablet. Step back and listen to the frequency the whole building is humming at. Toughness isn't being hashtagged, it's being staffed. The moves on the margins match the words at the podium. A safety who's felt postseason noise, a swing tackle with length and an attitude, a young edge who never takes a playoff, a technician at receiver who makes everyone better by existing in the room, a quarterback who knows the job is sometimes to wait your turn with dignity and grind anyway. This is what cultural alignment looks like when it's real. Will that youth in the secondary cost him a bust or two in September? Almost certainly. Will there be a series where a call doesn't get echoed and a scene pops for 27? Bank on it. But if the pass rush wins, it's one-on-ones, and the offense stays clean. If protection holds and procedure penalties don't cannibalize possessions, young secondaries grow faster than you think. That's how teams win ugly early and sharpen into something dangerous by the time the calendar flips. So no, this is not the dead week. This is the forging week. Pete Carroll isn't just arranging depth charts, he's imprinting a personality. The Raiders he's shaping do not feel like leftovers or compromises. They feel intentional, hard-nosed, competitive, a little mean in the best way. The captain triangle is strong. The acquisitions are coherent. The message to the locker room is simple and sharp enough to cut. Arrive with a chip, bring toughness, prove you belong.